Hey, it's Monday morning or whatever day it is that you actually watch this. It's such a great morning. I got up this morning and spent a couple of minutes meditating, drinking a glass of water, and then I headed over to the gym and did some water aerobics with my mother. And I feel amazing. Today's teaching is movement. We want to stack our strategies so that we start with something that creates a springboard for the next thing to be easier and easier and easier. So yesterday we started to work on hydration. I'm curious, and please respond if you're inclined. Do you feel thirstier since you started hydrating your body? I'm always reminded myself to do this hydration protocol. It's easy to slip out of the habit of having enough water and doing it in a way that hydrates your cells. And so I was really diligent yesterday, and I noticed that I was thirstier because of it. That is a sign that you're chronically dehydrated, that your cells aren't getting hydrated to the degree that they can. Think about a prune, like a prune. It's all shriveled up. It used to be a really fat plum. And if all of your cells are chronically dehydrated, if you're feeling thirstier from doing that protocol, it means that your cells are more prune-like versus plum-like. And when it's prune-like, the cells are permeable, so things can't move out of it as easily, and things can't move into it as easily. All of your energy, everything that you do, your thought processes, your nerve conduction, your muscular contraction, your digestion, the movement of waste products out, the movement of nutrition in, all of that requires fluid. And if you're optimally hydrated, you get everything moving better. I hope that makes sense. Something I didn't say yesterday with regard to hydration, when we have aches and pains. I suffer with a little bit of arthritis, and it's my own doing. It's from chronic overuse of my joints. My hips are really sad. So is my low back a little bit. But I know that I work and feel better when I'm hydrated. Folks with a low back problem, often when I'm working with them in an environment of yoga therapeutics, a lot of people have lumbar spine issues. Their low back hurts. And one of the things I tell them to do is during the day, as we wake and we have gravity pushing down on us, the spongy discs between the vertebra become compressed. And during the day, that starts to get more and more skinny. And you'll notice that your pain will get worse and worse and worse as the day goes on. So a thing to do is drink a glass of water and lay down so that gravity is released from the spine. You can put your knees up and your feet flat on the floor, and that gives the spine a nice neutral position for the water to rehydrate those spongy discs between the vertebra. It works like a charm. It's something, another layer, another reason for you to hydrate yourself. Because if you don't feel like moving, you're not going to move. And if you don't move, you're not pumping your lymphatics, which is your sewer system. And it's also the thing that delivers our immunity and nutrients. So it's this whole process of chain reaction of things that can happen, either for good or for bad. I hope I didn't digress too much. I just wanted to plug that in because it's another important piece of the puzzle. If we don't feel like moving, we're not going to. So day 2 is all about movement. And I'm not talking about grueling, punishing workouts. I'm talking about moving, moving with joy, whatever that looks like for you. This morning I went to water aerobics and just had some great laughs with my mother. It's a blast. I move my whole body. It's really fun. A little bit later this afternoon, I'm going to my trainer, and it's going to be a little bit different, but it's still a lot of fun. I come from an athletic background, so he has me doing all these things that makes me feel younger, which is awesome. But movement for you can be a number of different things. Maybe you love to dance. Maybe you love to walk. Maybe you love nature. Maybe you don't like to move at all. That is a sign that you need to move. So if your MO is to come home from work, have something to eat, plop on the couch, turn on Netflix, binge watch, go to bed, wake up, jump in your car, go back to work. If that's your normal, now is the time to stir yourself out of that. When we're trying to create a new habit, we have to layer, we don't have to, but a good way to do that and to have it stick is to layer that new habit onto something that you're already doing. So you're probably already having dinner, for example. So right after dinner, clean up your kitchen, close the kitchen because we're going to talk about that later. But right after dinner, after you're finished washing your dishes, putting everything away, move. It could be any form of movement. You can get on the floor and just kind of move around, move your legs, do a dead bug. There's no excuse for finding some sort of variety that makes you happy because movement will ultimately bring you joy. There's gajillions of videos on the web. Nature is a beautiful thing to get out into because it helps to balance your entire being. You can walk. I used to often put on music and just have a dance party with my kids, and it brought more joy. We all got to stir things around. When we move, we are, again, pumping our lymphatic system and changing our state from a very tamasic, a word you probably don't know, more of an inertia, sluggish being, to more energized and more apt later to move more. So it's that whole saying, whatever is in motion has a tendency to stay in motion, and we want to get into motion. And it doesn't have to be crazy, it just has to be. So a half hour, set your timer, move. Put it on your calendar if you must. Do it right after dinner. If you wake up early enough, do it right after breakfast or right before breakfast. It's part of the daily routine that Ayurveda has laid out and has worked for millennia. Movement. Make it joyful. Let me know what you're doing. Just really get on here and say, hey, this is something I did and I had a blast. You'll motivate the other folks on here. You might motivate me to do something or try something different. There's so many ways to move. And so go for it. A couple of things I want you to know is if it hurts, modify it. Don't move with pain. Maybe it is time to head for a warm water pool for aerobics. Maybe it's time to modify and adjust. If you are stuck with movement, that's one of the things I'm masterful at. You can always make an appointment and we can see each other either in person or over the web like this, because that is key. Movement is key, and we can figure it out. Anyway, I'd love to hear what's going on. Congratulations for making it for day 2. I know that sounds so cliche, but you've made it 2 days. That's awesome. Now I'll see you tomorrow and we'll talk about something more, and it might not be what you expect. All right, peace out. See you tomorrow.